Hey everybody, today's episode of What Happened When is brought to you by us. We're coming to see you St. Louis, and then we're going to stop by Baltimore, and it's happening this weekend. What are you waiting for? Go pick up tickets right now. They're like 30 something bucks, and you get to hear stories that you can't hear anywhere else. And it's the best way to support the podcast. So if you're digging what we're doing and you're within driving distance, why aren't you coming to see us St. Louis? Grab your tickets right now. You'll be glad you did at Tony and Conrad Live. And, Tony, we're doing that one on Saturday, June 22nd. Right. The very next day, June 23rd, you and I are going to finally make our way to Jimmy's Famous Seafood in Baltimore. And I've been there dozens of times, but you have never been. How excited are you for Jimmy's Famous Seafood?
I'm pumped up about this because, well, first of all, I love seafood. I love Baltimore. Always have, one of our great cities back in the years of WCW. Look forward to seeing a lot of our fans there. And I'm really excited about that. Tickets are available at whathappenedwhenlive.com. That's whathappenedwhenlive.com for Jimmy's Famous Seafood. And, you know, we forgot to mention, I don't know if we forgot to mention, but we haven't mentioned yet that we have a very special guest going to be with us.
Well, I'm trying not to kill the crowd. Tell everybody where they can get those tickets again for Baltimore.
Whathappenedwhenlive.com for Baltimore. TonyandConradLive.com for Saturday the 22nd in St. Louis. By the way, we're going to be at the venue called Off Broadway in St. Louis this coming Saturday. And it's the night show, 7 o'clock at night. We've got VIPs coming in early. And then, of course, we got the matinee on Sunday. And it's going to be a big weekend for us. But we are going to have with us.
Do we want to say?
Yeah, mashed tater guy.
Yes, tater thick. So come on out for that mashed potato experience. It's happening in St. Louis, TonyandConradLive.com this Saturday, the 22nd. And then Baltimore, Jimmy's Famous Seafood this Sunday, the 23rd. WhatHappenedWhenLive.com. See you there. You'll be glad you came.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett First Arcade, 605 NWA. TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede. Flair and Horsemen, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team. Turner, Barton, Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off, center stage, Bischoff. Disney, Hogan, and Nitro. New World Order and the Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zigg's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chant. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when?
WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With our master of ceremonies, the legendary Tony Schiavone. Tony, how are you, man?
What's up, Conrad? How you doing, buddy?
Man, I gotta tell you, I poured myself a drink to get us started recording today, and I filled it to the brim. Not sure I'll be able to maneuver this.
Filled it to the brim. Well, I tell you what, I'm full too. I'm filled to the brim with love. Pardon me. I'm filled to the brim with love.
Yeah, I think that's what Efren wants to do with you. He wants to fill you to the brim with love, and then when when you're ready, just
that's a horrible sound.
Well, thankfully, we're in for a horrible sound for about an hour and a half today, because we're going to go revisit Nitro number 94 from June 30th, 1997. We've got Lex Luger, the Giant, and Diamond Dallas Page taking on Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and the Macho Man, Randy Savage. We've also got Eddie Guerrero taking on Dean Malenko. Nitro from 1997. Ooh, right up my alley, baby. I love it.
Right in your wheelhouse, as we would say, right?
Well, that's what you would say. That's a fact. That's what you would say.
That's right. That's what I would say. Hey, Conrad, before we start, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay.
How's your nutsack doing?
Man, I'm going to tell you, and I'm just going to be honest here.
Oh, boy.
I'm really glad that you're asking me about this because I'm ready to take our relationship to the next level. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean with that comeback, but
well, here's what I mean. Like
okay.
you're trying to, I don't know, you're acting younger these days. Does that make sense? I mean, you got 3 necklaces on, you're listening to hip hop, you're making rap videos, you've got earrings in. You're trying to be hip, you're trying to be cool. And one of the things that you didn't know that guys these days are doing, like Bad Bunny Slim or Efren or Tim in the Summer Suit or Jay-Z or Casio Kid, is, man, we're trimming our dick hairs now. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I did not know that until I discovered Manscaped.
Boom. So you're in the loop now, thanks to Manscaped. Are you going to start trimming your dick hair a little bit, Tony?
Well, I think I am because I've got their lawnmower 2.0 now.
I got to tell you, Tony Schiavone running a lawnmower over his dick hair is exactly what Happened When is all about. And if you'd like to get with the program and trim your dick hair, well, Tony, you can tell them all about it, right?
That's right. Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer, and that's why they call it the Lawnmower 2.0. It has skin safe. You know what skin safe technology means, Conrad?
Well, I'm going to take a leap here, and I'm going to say that it's safe for your skin.
Yeah, it won't snag your nuts.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, baby. And, you know, and here's a question I've always wondered. If you go in to get your hair cut,
right,
you don't ask your barber or your hairdresser, would you trim my nutsack, do you?
No, I haven't asked that yet. I don't think that's legal in Alabama. We did just make it legal for CBD oil, but I'm a little hesitant to go ask them to do that. So I've been taking care of my own trimming for years, but it's easier than ever to trim my dick hair thanks to Manscaped.
Yeah, you don't use that same trimmer you use on your face that you're using on your balls. Please don't do this. Always use the right tool for the job. And here's what I like, this is the one thing I really like about Manscaped. It not only has the trimmer to design your balls the way you want it. Never thought I would say that. Design the balls the way you want it. They also have the Crop Preserver. The Crop Preserver, which is an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer.
What?
Is that great or what? A ball deodorant and moisturizer. You can deodorize your nutsack.
Oh, well, I tell you what, there are a lot of listeners who need to take advantage of this great offer I know you're about to tell us about, because what we need to know is what happened when you presented your wife with fresh balls.
Fresh balls, that's exactly right. Why are you not putting deodorant on your nuts? You already put deodorant on your armpits. Come on, the nuts are smelliest part of your body. At least that's what I've been told. Get 20% off free shipping with this code WHEN. WHEN. That's the code WHEN. Go to manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. 20% off free shipping and a free travel bag with the code WHEN at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping and a free travel bag at manscaped.com and use code WHEN. And therefore, when you get the travel bag, you can make sure your nuts are nicely groomed while you're on the road as well.
Man, I'm excited about this because this is the type of sponsor that we love here on What Happened When. So get your balls right, son. Come on, get that lawnmower gimmick going over your gimmick. You'll be glad you did. What's that promo code again?
The promo code is WHEN, WHEN, as in what happened when, but it's when. And you know what I was thinking about when I by the way, I've got Manscaped products at home now. That's how cool I am. I was thinking about Buff Bagwell.
Really?
And I was thinking that I wonder what his mother used to shave his bag.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it wasn't as good as Manscaped because he'd still be over. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Listen, when you use Manscaped, you're going to get over at home and you're going to stay over because your balls are going to stay fresh and clean. Run that lawnmower over your gimmick with Manscaped. Use that promo code WHEN. Tony, I don't know about you, man. I'm ready to dig into Nitro now. I mean, I'm not going to say that Manscaped has got me fired up, but it might low-key have me fired up.
I love being low-key fired up. You ready?
Well, I mean, I was hoping at any time now. I mean, we've been talking about balls for minutes, and Lois hadn't come running up the stairs. What's it going to take to get her up here and give us a countdown?
Okay, here she is, the one and only Lois Schiavone with our countdown.
3, 2, 1, go.
We start out with a Nitro Open. And I was watching this, I was listening to the music because I say every time that I didn't hear this music when I was doing the broadcast back then. And I also wonder why they had Lex Luger, one of his shitty clotheslines, on the Open here. Couldn't we find something else instead of that? But that's a hell of an Open, man. WCW Monday Nitro. And we come to you, by the way, from, hey, Conrad, Las Vegas, the MGM Garden Grand Arena.
Oh, I can't wait to never go back there.
What are you trying to say?
I didn't say anything. I love this set. I love the Nitro Open. This hits me in the feels, baby.
Yep.
Nostalgia in full effect. So you knew this was in Las Vegas. Did you watch this show this week ahead of time?
I watched parts of it. I didn't watch enough of it. Did you watch it?
I did not. I'm seeing it for the first time since it happened.
Okay.
Here's Mean Gene. What do you think he's saying right now?
All right, everybody, I want to introduce with you a man who at least this time did show up to Las Vegas. He is the world heavyweight champion, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
There's no way he's the champ in June of 97.
Well, they introduced him as the champion here.
Maybe they were saying the 16-time or 13-time, whatever he was back then.
Okay, well, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, maybe he was a 16-time world heavyweight champion. Or maybe Gene was just drunk then. I don't know.
Boy, that's a nicely tailored jacket right there.
It's a nicely tailored jacket, but a shit-looking haircut.
You didn't like Flair with that haircut?
No, not at all.
I like Flair better with that haircut. I mean, it felt weird when he was still trying to rock the long hair in the 90s. Like nobody was doing that back then. Here's why we picked this episode. Ta-da!
Oh my God.
Anytime Flair works with a mannequin, it's gold. No, I'm not talking about all the matches he had with Ronnie Garvin.
Wow. This is a Roddy Piper mannequin here.
How can you tell? Oh, it has an artificial hip. I see.
Yeah, it has no hips, as a matter of fact.
Hey, what if it has no hips? What's she got a hold of? Is that his Manscaped gimmick?
That's right. She's got a hold of his Manscaped gimmick. Mean by God, Gene.
Wait a minute.
Woo!
Who is that lady with the mannequin? Is that Classy Francine?
Look at that shit.
Oh, it fell off. Boy, when the ladies anytime anybody gets around Nate, they drop their skirt. What can you say?
They apparently do. He wanted to cut a promo on Roddy Piper here, and you know what it feels like to me. It feels like to me. Well, it feels like to me that they just got this mannequin kind of at the last moment. Don't you
Really?
think?
Now, who would have been in charge of that? Was this been a David Crockett move?
Yeah, it may have been a David Crockett move, but David may have not have been told about it till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever.
What are Mean Gene and Flair saying here?
Yeah. Well, which one of these girls are going to take your gimmick in their throat?
Oh,
Well, Gene, let me say this. These two girls are very young, and yeah, but does he have a big dick? Yes, he does. He's got a big dick, and he gets really hard. Yes, I do, Gene.
oh God.
And I hold the dick like I hold this microphone right here with both hands.
No.
Yeah, he fucked these two girls.
Oh
I'm
no!
sure.
Wait! We gotta rethink our strategy on this. What are we doing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Ric Flair comes out with two beautiful young ladies, and you think he hasn't at least tried to hit on them?
I don't know what we're doing.
What do you mean you don't know what we're doing?
Talking about putting gimmicks in throats and Peters and
Yeah, that's so unlike us. That is really unlike what this podcast has become. But Gene, I would like to say hello to everybody. I do want to let everybody know that regardless of what you have seen from me on social media the last couple of weeks, I love everybody. I respect everybody.
oh God!
I don't always show up for my bookings, but I always love everybody. Girls, come on in here and rub against this old thing. Now, I'm talking about Gene's head. I'm talking about my gimmick. I love everybody. I love Shawn Michaels. I love Conrad Thompson. especially I know he's in my family. I used to love Tony Schiavone, but I don't see him that much anymore. You know what I mean, girls. Baby. Girls, let me ask you once again, do you take it in the pooper shooter?
Oh, wait, hang on now. Whoa.
Oh, well, yes, we do. What? You really do? Yes, we do. Well, I don't know what to say. Here's what I want to say is that these skirts will go off tonight. They will fly off the mannequin tonight, and they will fly off these girls once we get back to the hotel. And, Gene, I'm staying at the Tropicana, which is old school. This is where I stay. That's right across the street here at the MGM Grand. And I want to let everybody know that Space Mountain is open all night long. See, the girls are going to get down there to their knees like this. And I'm going to take, wow, what's he going to do here?
What are we doing?
I don't know. We listen, we get into this mode when Ric Flair is here. Okay. I mean, let's face it. He's an old fuck. Okay. Ric Flair is, he's an old fuck that used to fuck all kinds of women.
Oh gosh.
And he used to drink all kinds of Stoli sea breezes.
Oh no.
Well, yes, he did. And oh my God, they are rubbing up Gene. Look at that. They're taking Gene's coat off. Oh my God, they're taking his shirt off.
Oh no.
Oh Lord. Oh, Gene trying to put the coat back on. Oh, then he's going to leave, and Flair's going to dance. Woo! What a way to start Nitro, huh? And now we go to our broadcast team of Tony Schiavone, the living legend Larry Zbyszko, and Mike Tenay.
How about the decision to start in the ring before you come to the desk? That's a little unusual, huh?
Yeah, it is a little unusual. Probably Flair had somewhere to go.
Boy, you freaking Schiavone the collar on that shirt. Look at there. You didn't even button. Like you see your little collar buttons below and you're like, fuck it. See them? Look at them. Peekaboo.
No, well, you don't button to the upper collar.
No,
on that shirt.
Not the tippy top shirt, but like instead of collar stays, you've got collar buttons.
Oh, and I didn't button those
and
collar
you didn't
buttons.
do them because you're Schiavoneing.
Yeah, I probably did. I probably just didn't give a fuck back
You know
then.
what? We need to give a shout out right fast because you just had a family member pop out another baby for you.
Yes, we sure did. Madeline Grace Schiavone was born in New York City on the 12th of June at Mount Sinai, and I was very fortunate to be able to be close enough to where I could drive over and see her. Matt Schiavone and his wife Julianne had a new baby, so that's 2 grandchildren within a month for us.
God dang. You Schiavones have got enough coming to you to shampoo Buffalo.
Well, they have a lot. They have a lot to keep up with. The kids do with me. All right. Hey, I got a question for you.
Oh, I don't know that I'm ready.
Okay. Who's drawn more money, Chris Jericho or the Macho Man Randy Savage?
I'm so glad you asked me that because I was debating that all week with your great close personal friend, Dave Flair.
David Flair's my close personal friend.
Oh, I mean, he thought you guys were friendly, but I'll tell him you said fuck off.
Well, yeah, I tell him I said fuck off.
Okay.
Well,
all right. What else?
So anyway, you debated that about who he thought that the Macho Man drew more money.
And I thought Jericho did.
And I thought Jericho did too. And that's a pretty good debate. And that would be hard to really put a number on, wouldn't it?
Well, I thought so. And then I texted Dave Meltzer and he agreed with Dave and said it was Macho Man. And then I was just cantankerous. So I texted Bruce Mitchell and he said Macho Man. And then I thought that was bullshit. So I called Bruce Pritchard and he said Macho Man.
Oh,
I thought that was stupid. So I called Eric Bischoff and he said Macho Man.
Okay.
Then after that, I was like, all right, let me go a little more new school. Let me call Mike Johnson. And he said Macho Man.
All right. So here's the deal about drawing money. All right.
We're wrong. That's the deal. We're wrong.
Okay. We're wrong. But to draw money, you have to be on top, right? And okay, I'm not trying to defend thinking that Jericho drew more money than Macho Man Randy Savage. And by no stretch of the imagination am I saying that Jericho's a bigger star than the Macho Man was. But if you put Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat in the most famous match they ever had in WrestleMania 3, they didn't draw that house.
Right.
Hogan and Giant drew that house. So you can't say that they drew the money for that one. So you can't put them and say whatever that house was, it was drawn by the Macho Man. Macho Man drew a lot of money with Hogan. Ian Hogan had a pretty good run, as we know,
See, and
in the 80s.
Here's my argument on that, though. Brother Love was in the main event against Hulk Hogan at Madison Square Garden, and it sold out. The Genius was in the main event against Hulk Hogan at Madison Square Garden, and it sold out. So if the Genius and Bruce Pritchard can sell out against Hulk Hogan, and I don't mean this to disparage either one of those guys, especially when one of them is my best friend and the other guy, so, well, you know, I think anybody could have drawn money with Hulk Hogan because it was Hulk Hogan. It wasn't whoever they were against. Now, that being said, Macho Man is one of my top all-time favorites, as you know.
Right.
But I just think Jericho has been a top guy now for so long that he's got him on longevity. So I'm not saying maybe Jericho ever did a buy rate that could compare with WrestleMania 5, but against Hogan. I'm not saying that. Hogan is the anomaly in that situation, though, because Hogan did it against the Giant. Hogan did it with Piper. Hogan did it with, you know, The Rock. I mean, Hogan did it with Sting. Hogan did it over and over and over, years and years apart, multiple times. But Jericho had much more longevity as a top guy to me than the Macho Man, because I think the Macho Man, we could count him as a draw in 86. I mean, in 87 and 88 and 89, but it dipped a little in 90. It dipped a little in 91. 92 was not great. 93 was not great. And then, as we know, he didn't do much of, well, he just didn't do much for WCW in 94, 95. And then by the time 96 rolled around, he wasn't the tippy top guy, and he never would be again.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. And I think it's really hard. You just do this by what you think. I think it's very hard to really put a number to this, who drew more money. But let's just say that they both have drawn a lot of money and they both have been big stars.
Oh, without question. I mean, listen, what a conversation for both to be in, because each of these guys, you know, has had just tremendous success. And of course, the reason this came up is All Elite Wrestling, once again, sold out Sears Center. And, you know, last year it took a half hour. This year it was under 15 minutes, and supposedly more than 60,000 in line to buy tickets after. Now, you know, there's a lot of debate about that. You're not assuming that demand is a straight line, so to speak. So there's probably people who have multiple browsers and blah, blah, blah. But most people weren't just buying one ticket either. Some were buying 2, some were buying 4. Either way, they could have sold more tickets than they did. The appetite is just second to none for All Elite Wrestling right now. And Jericho's a part of that. And he was a part of, you know, popping a big house for New Japan, one of their biggest in many years for Wrestle Kingdom, with him and Omega on top. And that's sort of what I was getting at, is Jericho, even after all these years, when he's positioned on top, is still a draw.
Yes, he is, big time. And it's because he's a great talent. And he was a great talent back then. And he and Juventud Guerrero are watching right now, and Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero and all the other luchadors that were involved, Dean Malenko, they made the Cruiserweight belt what it was. Listen, the 205 Live and the 205 whatever they got going on now just cannot compare to what we had back then.
Well, yeah. I mean, and here's the thing. WWE's not presenting it in a way where fans care anyway. You know, 205 Live is probably one of the more missed opportunities, where I think people got really excited about the concept and what it could be, but then in the execution, womp, womp, womp.
Well, missed that one, didn't he? Jesus, criminy Christ. Hey, so,
wait, Jesus' middle name was Criminy?
Criminy, yes, it was Criminy.
Dude, I didn't know that. Well, what's the H for?
H? I don't know.
Oh.
Criminy Ho-Ho. I don't know. Watch out. Suicide dive. That fan at ringside, who apparently has lung cancer as well, was really excited about that. I want to also bring up another point here as we're watching this, and it reminds me of what happened in Las Vegas. Here we're at the MGM Grand, and now we fast forward to what happened recently during Memorial Day weekend. Wow, the 450 or the 460 or the whatever it's called. I was seen at ringside, front row ringside, at the AEW show.
Huh. That sounds like a like a pretty prime spot to be in. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. And I'd like to thank my benefactor, Conrad Thompson, for providing me with those tickets. However, but ooh, look at that pickup power bomb. Do it again.
I hear a butt coming.
Yeah, you hear a big butt coming. But
is that Lois going up the stairs? What is that?
No. I did not want to be there, and I didn't think I should be there, and I was conned into being there by you.
No, that's not true. You were conned into being there by your son.
Okay, now here's what happened. You told me, I said, listen, I don't want to go, and you said, got front row ringside. Your son wants you to sit with him, which you were right, he did. He said, I've got some other guys there, and I'm going to be there too.
I was there.
No, you weren't. I was expecting you would step aside of me, and you were in the back, said hello to the guys, and you and Megan and the family went out to dinner. So you conned me into doing that. And the reason I didn't want to do that was because what happened was, I probably talked about this earlier. What happened was exactly, here's a lion tamer, or now the Walls of Jericho, exactly what I thought would happen. Some slapdick would take my picture and say, Schiavone looks bored at ringside. I wasn't bored. I had a great time. And so I felt bad about that. So I will not be at ringside at the Sears Center.
Well, that's good because I don't have a ticket for you.
Well, there you go. Well,
no, here's the real deal. You're going to be calling football.
Right. I'll be at football. I'll be doing football.
I mean, if you're coming to StarCast this time in Chicago and you want to see Tony Schiavone, make sure your ass is there Thursday or Friday because he will not be there Saturday.
Exactly right. And here's the Walls of Jericho, or I'm sorry, the Lion Tamer from Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho, the Lionheart, is still your Cruiserweight champion. All right, Chris Jericho. Hey, Chris, is it true that you didn't show up for StarCast?
Oh,
is
God.
it true that we only had a cardboard cutout of you at StarCast, and you were supposed to have your silly ass there on Sunday? Tell me, is that true or is it not? And I need to know. Gene, first of all, I want you to thank me for being here. I've yet to be thanked. I've yet to be thanked by AEW. I've yet to be thanked by Conrad Thompson. I've yet to be thanked by you. I've yet to be thanked by the people here at the MGM. Wait a minute. I don't need to thank you for anything. Woo, watch out. Here comes X-Pac.
By the way, this was one of my low-key favorite little feuds and pairings of 1997. I didn't really know just how talented, and I mean this, I didn't know because I wasn't watching when he first popped off as the 1-2-3 Kid. So the first time I really even saw Sean Waltman was here in the NWO. And I didn't really know how talented this guy was until his series of matches with Chris Jericho. And then I was like, oh shit.
All right.
I don't know enough about this guy.
Well, Sean Waldman was really, when he was in his prime, one of the best performers ever. And here's another guy that we just put in the mix for the Cruiserweight Championship and the Cruiserweight run. And it just made us sizzle. It really, really did.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Did you know that a few years ago, Sean Waltman tore his butthole?
Okay. How did he tear his butthole?
You remember the Bronco Buster?
The Bronco Buster.
Yeah. He would put his opponent on the bottom turnbuckle. He'd get a running start and then he would bounce up and down on their chest.
Right. Yes. Right.
Well, that was called the Bronco Buster.
Okay. Got it.
Well, he did that and he missed. And, it was a planned spot. The guy moved, but he landed real hard and it tore his asshole.
Good God.
Not the kind of tearing you enjoy, a different kind.
Yeah. I don't want to get into this, but if you got a torn asshole, do you let it heal on its own or sew it up or what?
Yeah, he had to have surgery. He had to go to the doctor's office and they had to fix his asshole for him. Put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That's what I like to say. Mm-hmm. But no, yeah, he had blood in his trunks. And I think he finished the match cause that's just what he does. But then after that, it was like, hey man, I think I need to get my beehole checked out.
I bet he did.
Here's the best part of the whole deal though. As if tearing your asshole wasn't bad enough. He tore it in public. That's pretty bad. Mm-hmm. But then it made TMZ. So then the whole world knows that you got a torn asshole.
Alex Wright, what the fuck are you doing here with guys that can work? Well, Gene, just let me say that I just walked out here and you stuck a microphone in front of my face. Unlike Jim Barnett, who stuck something else in front of my face, and I said, "You an old man. You don't need to talk to me like that." Yes, I do, Gene. Absolutely. I know I'm not over, but I know that I would like to go for the Cruiserweight title.
Shit.
What? What are you saying? What did you say?
Keep rolling.
I was going. I thought I heard you. Did you cough or something that time? I would just like to say that unlike what most people feel, I have not had sex with Jim Barnett. Matter of fact, I don't know anybody that had sex with Jim Barnett, and it's just a lie. He may like the way I dance. He may like the way my pack. Hey, get out of here, you German fuck. I got things I got to do. We're going to be going back to the ring here soon. Let's get him the fuck out of here. Chris Jericho's behind me. He can actually work. You fucking can't. Get out of here. We got to go to the next match.
You're fired up today.
Yeah, I'm kind of fired up about that. I don't know what we were trying to do with. I jest here because Alex Wright was a fine talent. He really was. I think he was misused. I mean, we made him.
Why? Why do you think he was misused? I think he was used fine.
Okay, you do?
Yeah.
Watch out! Wow, we are just cruiserweighting the shit out of this show, aren't we?
Dude, now this is what's up. Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko had. Look at the fucking Wildcat Willie. I'm going to slap Eric next time I see him. So, these guys had a series of matches in 1995, I think, with
Right.
ECW. Woo, just outstanding. The fans were so appreciative. Obviously, those are some of the more, quote unquote, smart fans. And they just had a real appreciation for the masterclass of wrestling these guys would put on. And now they're doing it here on a big stage, national TV, live on TNT. You guys were lucky to have two guys like this.
Oh yeah, we absolutely were. Look at the talent we've had already. Okay, Ric Flair comes out and does that stupid ass interview at the beginning of the show. All right, but there's no denying his talent. Chris Jericho, Juventud Guerrera, Alex Wright, and now Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko. That's pretty fucking loaded.
And I got to tell you, it is kind of weird that you know that your roster is banging when the weak spot is Alex Wright, because Alex Wright's a talented wrestler. And when if he's your weak spot, you got some hosses on your squad.
Right. What did you think of Eddie's singlet? I always thought that singlet for him just did not fit. And I know it was part of his trademark. I just thought, Eddie had a good enough body to where he didn't need a singlet. And the guys who usually wore singlets were guys who were concerned about their belly popping out and things like that. And I mean, Wahoo wore a singlet late in his career. I just thought Eddie didn't need one.
I thought that's what made it cool.
Really?
Yeah, but it's different.
Yeah, well, it is different.
I mean, the goal is to try to stand out, and it's not like he's going to stand out because he's 7 foot tall.
Right. But he could have stood out with long tights like that without the singlet on top of it.
Well, no, he'd eventually take the singlet off while he was with y'all. He would just wrestle with just pants eventually.
Right. Well, look at this, man. These two guys, you could tell how much they had worked together just by the way they worked with each other.
You know the reason, though. I'm just freestyling, but he probably wanted to make sure, guys. Sometimes guys they're their own worst critics,
right?
So he didn't want to take the top off until he knew he had abs that,
right? Sure. Look at that, man, throwing him through the air. Nicely done by Dean Malenko. So we're in 97 here, June 30th of 1997. We're heading.
Oh, you know what? Let me make you feel old. I'd had a driver's license for less than a week here.
Did you really?
Yeah. How about that?
God almighty. Thanks for making me feel old.
You're welcome.
Listen, having 5 grandchildren makes you feel old enough, but knowing that my boss had a driver's license for a week here.
Your boss. I'm not your fucking boss.
You are my fucking boss.
You got to stop that.
Hey, listen, were you not bossing people around backstage at StarCast?
No.
Oh, hell yeah, you were.
No.
So you're my boss. Okay.
Hang on. I wasn't bossing. I was coordinating.
Yeah. I've got a boss at home. We know her name. And I got a boss in my work. We know your name. Whoa.
Hey, why are you being like this? You're being very mean to me.
No, I'm not. 1, 2, got a 2 count that time.
It hurts my feelings a little.
No, you can't hurt your feelings.
That's true.
Don't give me that bullshit.
I wasn't mean though. You're acting like I was mean.
Hey, I do need to qualify something here. When I said I didn't like David Flair, I've always liked David Flair.
You're
He just got
busting
heat with me
balls.
the fact that he had sex with Stacy Keibler and I didn't get to see it.
Boy, let me tell you, he's not selling that.
Oh, I bet he's not.
God damn. You want him to clam up and just shut up, not talk to nobody about nothing.
Yeah, I know.
It was weird. I
And
had the whole family out at dinner, 9
Right.
of us. And the conversation, you've been at dinner parties like this. It just gets to a lull, right?
Yeah,
It's like
right.
everybody's laughing, joking. And then there's like this just silence for an extended period of time. Well, so I wanted to keep the party going. So I was like, "Hey Dave, tell us about Stacy Keibler's cooter." And man, you'd have thought I had flaming turds hanging out of my mouth.
Well, that's what we all wanted to know. And the reason I know that David doesn't want to talk about it, as we see Chavo come in here, is that when you had me on speakerphone with David,
Yeah.
I said, David, you're a motherfucker. And he said, why? I said, you know why. And he knew why, but he didn't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
He knew why he had heat with me because of Stacy Keibler, but he didn't want to acknowledge it. He didn't want to talk about it because he's probably thinking that at your house, even though your house is large, vast, the Conradison, that someone may overhear us say Stacy's name.
No, he legitimately no sells it. No matter the company.
I don't blame.
No matter the company, you won't. So like, I don't think we can talk about it much longer. I think we got to like put that to bed.
That won't stop you. Oh God.
By the way, somebody told me that they thought Chavo Guerrero was a dickhead in real life. But
Really?
I don't know Chavo. Was Chavo Guerrero a dickhead in real life?
Not to me, he wasn't. Not at all.
I've never really even heard anybody say that. So it caught me off guard a little bit. I was like, really? I've never heard that. I mean, Bruce Pritchard loves him, but if your last name is Guerrero, Bruce wants to adopt you.
Well, down in Houston, Texas, there are probably a lot of Guerreros down there. All right. I want to bring in now a young man who is, without your mask on, I know you could get a lot of pussy.
Oh God.
We are talking about Rey Mysterio Jr. Ray, you probably got a lot of, do you use the mask when you bang the chicks?
Oh,
Well, Mean Gene, I just want to say that you may think that because I'm small in stature that I have not much going for me, but I do know that I'm big in many ways. Big, yes, big in many ways. And now, as you fast forward into 2019, I'm still wrestling for the WWE. And now, Gene, I'd like to say that my bigness has gotten bigger. How's that gotten bigger there, Ray? Thanks to Blue Chew. That's right. Blue Chew has changed my life. Represent. Absolutely. Blue Chew has changed my life, Gene. I not only can perform in the ring, even with a bad knee, I can perform out of the ring with my weenie, if you know what I say. Wait a minute. I want to hear more about this Blue Chew. No, you don't, Gene, because you had bad kidneys, and it wasn't for people with bad kidneys. It was for people like me. Come on now. You're talking about Blue Chew. I need to hear more about Blue Chew. Well, Gene, the only thing you need to know about Blue Chew is that if you are a listener of What Happened When, you can get your first order free. Only pay the shipping. Only pay the shipping. Oh, and here comes out a big guy. Speaking of a big guy, wait a minute, Kevin Nash, come on out. Hey, I've heard of Blue Chew, and I know you can get your first order free. Only pay the $5 shipping by going to BlueChew.com, promo code WHW. That's BlueChew.com, promo code WHW. It can, I've heard, Ray, it can work twice as fast as the other ones. Well, I don't know about working fast, but I know it makes you super hard, Gene. And that's what I want to be when I leave the ring. Yay! And that's right. You may applaud that I get super hard. Well, wait a minute. Does he really get super hard? Well, Gene, I don't know about getting super hard, but I do know that give me SpectraVision, a bottle of Jergens, and some Blue Chew, and I'm done for the night, baby. Right, baby? Right. A big Diesel. I'm sorry. It's not Big Diesel. It is Big Kevin Nash. What is going on here? What the fuck? We had a rest. No, we're doing a Blue Chew commercial here on What Happened When. That's What Happened When. Ray, I'm going to shake your hand. There he is, Rey Mysterio Jr., who got a lot of pussy this week. We'll be back.
are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. This probably came out of the lawn dart thing, didn't it?
No, he lawn darted him in 96. This is 97.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, here's your buddy. Huh?
That's my boy.
Here's your buddy, Eric Bischoff, riding on a Harley.
If that's the NWO bike, that's the one that he sold a few years ago for charity.
Wow. Did you ever ride on a motorcycle?
Nope. My dad was in a real bad motorcycle wreck when I was a Ute, and he was in a coma for more than a month. So motorcycle riding in my family is something that just doesn't happen and isn't talked about, and there'll be a fist fight over it. So I've just been reared up my whole life to stay away from motorcycles.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I have no desire to ride a motorcycle. I've just seen too many bad things happen, and I just don't get it. I've ridden a bicycle, and I enjoy that, but a motorcycle, just hop in a car. All right, man.
When Hogan comes out with this shadow beard, this 5 o'clock shadow beard, with the shades on inside of the bandana, strutting ass a little bit, I gotta say, this was super cool back then, but it's been ruined for me now. And you know why?
I don't know why.
Bad Money Slim. Because Bad Money Slim walks around his fucking life every day in 2019, walking and dressing just like Hulk Hogan in 1997.
Yeah.
So I went from thinking this was cool to, well, goddamn, how cool can it be if fucking Bad Money Slim's doing it?
Right. Do you realize that you and I created Bad Money Slim?
No, we didn't. Bad Money Slim's been over for a while.
Really? But he hasn't been out in the public eye like he's become with you and me.
I would disagree. I think he was first on the Taz show. And then, according to the rumor and innuendo, him and Silva jumped ship to CTE.
Wow. He was on the part of the Taz show?
Yeah, I think he was like a caller every day.
Mm.
I mean, I didn't listen back then,
right.
But it was before I really got into podcasts. But anyway, that's the rumor and innuendo.
Mm.
But you know what? I'm glad to have Bad Money Slim on the squad.
Yeah, I am too. He's a good guy. Good guy to have around.
I didn't say that.
Okay. No, he's a good guy to have around. He really is. I have a lot of time for Bad Money Slim. And you know, what's funny is I keep mixing him up with Carl Anderson. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they both don't have hair on their head.
Well, maybe they both use Manscaped too. I mean, a guy who spends as much time on his face as Bad Money Slim, he's probably using Manscaped too, right?
I would think so. Well, you know something, brother? I came out here and I heard Rey Mysterio talk about Blue Chew.
Oh, God.
I want to talk about Blue Chew myself. That's exactly right, brother. Eric, hold that microphone like you hold, well, you know what I'm talking about. Blue Chew ships discreetly to your door in a discreet package. Blue Chew chewables are prescribed online by a doctor, brother, and made in the USA. Blue Chew gives your confidence in bed every time, brother, and you and your partner will love it. Chew it and do it. That's right. $5 shipping, BLUEchew.com, promo code WHW. Do it or chew it, I should say, and do it, brother.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How many more Blue Chew commercials are we going to do today?
I just thought, it's kind of a common thing. Well, we'll do as many Blue Chew commercials as I want to, Conrad, because look at the guns on my arm. These guns weren't put here by Blue Chew, but Blue Chew put something somewhere else, brother. So as long as Hulk Hogan wants to talk about Blue Chew, we'll talk about it because Hulk Hogan is in charge of this podcast now, just like Hulk Hogan was in charge of WCW back then. If I didn't want to do a job, brother, if that wasn't good for me, if my creative didn't think we could do it, you smile there, Eric, then we wouldn't do it. So if I want to talk about Blue Chew, brother, wait a minute. I run the company, Eric. Hulk, I run the company. I'm the man that signs the paychecks. I'm the man that brought you here. I'm the man that made WCW what it was. Yeah, but brother, I was. No, what you got to see here, brother, is that didn't work for me. If I say that didn't work for me, brother, that means it didn't work for me. What's working for me right now is Blue Chew. So I want to tell Conrad Thompson out there that if I want to talk about Blue Chew during my commercial, during my promo, I'll talk about Blue Chew because I am Hulk Hogan. brother. So he's kind of taken over this podcast here, you see, and he's going on and on and on about Blue Chew.
Hey, did you hear that? Stone Cold Steve Austin's coming back to podcasting.
I didn't know he left.
Yeah. He hadn't been doing them for several months.
Is he going to do them with you?
No,
Okay.
but his first guest is Tony Khan.
Oh my God.
What do you think about that?
That's very interesting, isn't it?
What do you think?
I don't know. Are we reading too much into that?
I didn't read anything to it. I told you he's coming back.
But you asked me, what do I think?
Well, about,
You would
about
say,
him
what do you think? What do you think if you want me to read something into it?
No, I just mean that Austin's coming back to podcasting. Isn't that great?
Yes, I think it's great. And I think it's great he's going to be talking to Tony Khan. You know, I've never met Tony, but I understand he's a great guy.
Yeah. I mean, I saved you a spot for him at the dinner table.
Oh, don't start that again. Don't start that again. But
right.
I never met Tony Khan, but I understand he's a great guy, and I'm sure he'll do a great job on the podcast with him.
Great.
Great. What a crowd we had. So but what have we given the fans so far here?
Free tickets. It's Las Vegas. Y'all never sold out shit at MGM Grand. Did you know that you never sold out MGM Grand?
I did not know that. I knew we filled it up, but I did not know how many tickets would we have sold, or how many did we have to pay for something like this? Hello, Grandpa. Do you take Blue Chew?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh man, we lost this guy a few years ago. Remember Hector Garza?
Hector Garza was a good performer, man. And not only that, he was a very handsome man. I never liked this, though.
He died in like May of 2013, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he did that corkscrew plancha off the top, and I didn't mind him doing it on one, but when he did it like on 4 or 5 guys, I thought that was kind of overdone. But hell, compared to what we see now, what the fuck?
He missed a show for y'all in 97 or 98. And I think one of I forget exactly when, but it was sometime in 97 or 98. And the rumor mill was the excuse he gave y'all was that he dropped a window unit air conditioner on his foot and couldn't travel. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I'd heard that story.
That sounds make believe, man. Does it not? Can you imagine if Hulk Hogan was like, "Not gonna make it, brother"? Yeah. Putting in one of those Samsung window units up in Brooks' room. It gets hot down here in Tampa, especially when you've been hanging and banging with the heavy metal. And anyway, drop that motherfucker on my foot. So not going to be able to make Starcade.
Oh, it just makes me think of how tough it is. And you know this firsthand now, running 2 Starcasts. How tough it is to deal with wrestlers. It really is. Most of them are good guys. Most of them will do and will be there and do what you want. But there's always a handful, and those handfuls just taint it for everybody, Did you
see the empty seats in the upper deck when they got that shot?
I did not. I didn't notice
when they
that.
shoot ramp side. Look, bam, 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 bam.
Okay. Well, and going up against Hector Garza here is one of my favorites. I haven't talked with him for quite a while, but
He probably thinks you're trying to look for a job.
yeah, that's why I don't talk to him.
You're weird like that. I don't want him to think I want a job. So I'll just delete his number and never call him again.
Well, I just don't look.
What's wrong with just sending somebody a text of a funny joke? Like in my real life, I send, funny things I see on the internet to a friend and it makes them laugh. And you're like, he'll think I want a job. I don't want a job.
Well,
anyway, do you need me for Starcast 3? Oh, I'm back with MLW, by the way.
Okay, I am doing MLW for one thing this summer. One. It's probably going to be in like 3 or 4 shows, but I'm doing one day of voiceover.
I love you. I'm only going back for 1 show. Okay, it's 3 shows, maybe 4. I love that it really is like the fucking Godfather with you in wrestling. Just when I thought I was out.
Yeah, I know.
Pulling me back in. Hey, so we haven't spent a lot of time lately here on the show talking about baseball.
Right. because this is not a baseball podcast.
But it is a big part of your life.
Right.
And you're on the road as we're taping this right now in some random part of the country. Where in the world is Slapdick Tony Schiavone?
Syracuse, New York.
Are you going to go to the school, try to get a broadcasting degree, learn how to pronounce library?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not, but I probably should have, because it's pretty apparent that guys who went to Syracuse, only thing they had to do was go.
He missed again. Jesus.
What the fuck?
Regal should have taken one step in. How did he let him do that? I feel like Regal just intentionally dodged that. I'm like, fuck that. That does not look safe.
Where was I? Oh, only thing you have to do is take Broadcasting 101, suck a professor's dick, and you can get a job at ESPN if you're at Syracuse.
Boy, you're coming in hot today. Can we just call it?
No, I'm kidding. I've got a lot of friends who went to Syracuse, and a lot of good broadcasters who went to Syracuse. I'm just being funny, being irreverent. And this is a good place to go. It's a fine sports town.
I feel like you've been extra dirty today. Is everything okay at home?
Well, hey, look at our sponsors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lawnmowers and Blue Chew.
Lawnmowers and Blue Chew. And have we talked about Blue Chew yet today?
Can you shut the fuck up about Blue Chew?
Hey, by the way, if you like sex, you'll like Blue Chew, Conrad.
God damn it. Again?
Just wanted to make Steven Regal wins that, and Steven Regal is not happy. But he is your world television champion. Don't touch my belt, you fat ogre of a referee.
I don't know why that was funny the way you said that, but it was.
Okay. I try to be funny. It's WCW Monday Nitro, and we'll be right back.
You're not always funny.
No, I know I'm not always funny. That's why I kind of just, lean on you a lot, because you are.
No,
funny.
I'm not always funny.
Oh, yeah. You always are.
So you recently did, we should plug this. You don't make podcast appearances all that often. In fact, you try not to because you think it takes away from what we're doing here, but you recently made an exception.
Uh-huh.
You're on Cassio's Cut. You're going to plug it here. That's what we're doing.
Oh, okay. Yes. I was on Cassio's Cut.
Thanks for the plug. All right. There's Scott Steiner. He's almost as eloquent as you are.
Yeah, I was, I really, he had me advertised as Tony F. Schiavone. What was the F for?
Fucking.
Motherfucker.
What?
Yeah.
Hang on now. Tony fucking Schiavone? That's cool. I don't know if you know, but that's Jim Ross's middle name too.
Jim fucking Ross?
Yeah.
J fucking R? JFR?
Her.
Yeah, I was on his podcast. I've been on Jay-Z's podcast.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, God.
The analogy I gave for Jay-Z's podcast was you could have stood out in front of your house on your lawn and just yelled at traffic, and more people would have heard you than they did on Jay-Z's podcast. Now, check this out. This is fun stuff. You got the Outsiders leading the B Team NWO down. Well, Waltman's there too, but so wait, is that Chono in the back?
Yes, it is.
One of the biggest stars in the world in the back behind Virgil. That's real.
Yeah.
Buff Bagwell standing in front of Masahiro Chono.
Oh, good God. And now we wondered why the NWO went to shit.
I got to ask you something. He's going to be mad that I'm talking about this like this, but I don't care.
Okay.
David Flair thinks Kevin Nash was terrible on the mic.
What?
I know. We watched the show together and he's like, I got a Kevin Nash promo. I was like, what? He's like, oh man, he was not a good promo. I'm like, hang on. What now? Like that it legitimately took me back. He's like, well, I don't know. I just didn't like it. And I guess everybody's entitled to their opinion. Like, which one they like better or what entertained them or what didn't. And you never know what it is for anybody, but he was like, nah, I don't know why, but that just caught me off guard. I've never heard anybody say that about fucking Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash is a great promo.
That's wrong. Kevin Nash's promos were kind of like Kevin Nash. And I think those made the best promos. Guys who didn't sound like they were doing a promo.
Right.
Ric Flair was like that. Dusty Rhodes was like that. Scott Hall was like that. Kevin Nash was like that.
Tell me more.
I don't know. I could think of some others. Steve Regal. I mean, they just guys who, Chris Jericho, Cody Rhodes, all sound like they're not doing.
Are you just saying names right now? I feel like you're just naming names.
No.
Here's another name. Oh, I thought of another one. Oh, and now I've got this one. What about this name?
Scott Norton, 1, 2, 3 Kid, Masahiro Chono, all those guys. See, Gene, what it is right here that we have all signed up for Blue Chew, and it's all going to come to our house in a discreet package. That's right.
What are you doing? Why are you doing this again? We can't have 30 of these. People aren't going to listen. Listen, everybody knows that Blue Chew gets their dick real hard, so hard even a cat couldn't scratch it. But if you keep doing this, people are going to be turned off to the show, and they're going to be mad at Blue Chew, and it's not even their fault. They bought one ad, and you've done 7 so far. Stop it.
Okay. No more Blue Chew.
I mean, your wife's going to make you stop it when you use Blue Chew. I can't stop either now. God damn it.
Oh, man. Wow. All right. We go back to look at Mark Madden, would you, on the right? And Gene Okerlund and Chris Jericho, they're all thinking, what are we fucking doing here with Mark Madden? And Mark won't shut up. Mark, if you'll just shut up for a minute, I'll say something. Hey, Mark was good. Mark was a lot of fun, wasn't he, at StarCast?
Oh, I love Mark Madden. Mark Madden gets a bad rap.
He does get a bad rap.
The deal is he's, that's the business he's in. He's in the, I want to be argumentative, cantankerous. I've got to be a shock. I mean, that's what radio is.
Right.
And not all radio, but that's his brand of radio. So we need to just fucking, appreciate the gimmick he's working. Cause in real life, he's a fucking cool guy.
And he's great at what he does. He's great about being argumentative.
Yes.
And great about being on the edge, and he's always been that way. I thought he was a good color guy. And if people on Twitter will say, what was it like working with Madden? He sucked. No, he didn't suck. Mark Madden was a pro, man, and he was a pro for us at StarCast, and have a lot of time for him and Scott Hudson and Sean Mooney and David Crockett and all the guys that work with us in StarCast. I'm missing somebody. Mike Johnson. All the guys who work with us, StarCast, great guys. But now, Sonny Ono, and wait a minute, Super Callow. I was trying to think of the guy's name. Super Callow. Fragilistic expialidocious.
Why did you never give him in the Vince Russo era?
Yeah.
I kept expecting any week Fragilistic expialidocious as a wrestler.
Yeah, I should have, but I wanted to respect the luchadors.
Wait, no. I'm not saying you. I'm saying I thought somebody was going to make him a tag team partner.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Why didn't somebody do that?
I don't know. I wasn't booking. Ask the booking committee.
Well, I'm asking you, motherfucker. That's the kind of show we do here.
Okay.
We ask each other questions and whatnot. We make conversation.
And whatnot. We do a lot of whatnot. You're right about that. A lot of whatnot in this part of the country. Hey, speaking of being a part of the country, I want to say hello to everybody in St. Louis and Baltimore this weekend. As we're dropping this podcast, we're going to be in both those towns, Conrad.
I'm pretty excited about it. We're returning to St. Louis. I've been there with Bruce Pritchard now, I think twice, and I've been there with Eric Bischoff once. Really looking forward to getting back there with you. Tickets are on sale now at TonyandConradLive.com. And believe it or not, there's still stories we can't tell here on the podcast. So we're going to tell them there. I can't believe that we're actually saying that because we tell almost everything here, but there's some things that Tony's like, oh no, we can't talk about that, but he's agreed to do it. So at the show, you'll be able to hear the stories we can't tell on the air. I'm looking forward to what you've been saving for us, buddy.
That's this Saturday, the 22nd at Off Broadway, as Conrad said, at TonyandConradLive.com. The next day, we got a matinee show at Jimmy's Famous Seafood. Ooh, wow. Jimmy's Famous Seafood, and tickets available at whathappenedwhenlive.com, and that's a 1 o'clock show there. So we'll be in Baltimore at Jimmy's Famous Seafood. A lot of shows have been there before, and I look forward to being there for the first time.
I'm looking forward to it too, because they're the best crab cakes in the world. And I think you're going to love John, who is one of the owners there at Jimmy's Famous Seafood. And it's a heritage business for him and his family. And they take such great care of us and the wrestling fans. And, you know, it's a wrestling fan. It's the perfect restaurant for a wrestling fan. I'll say that.
Here comes La Parca, the chairman of WCW. He must be going to break that chair.
Let me tell you what you will not be hearing at StarCast 3.
What?
Here comes La Parca.
Why is that? I
Just read between the lines, motherfucker.
Okay. I spent a little time with La Parca during the last StarCast. Look at this, man. Pick up Hoovy. Come on. What the fuck's you talking about misdirection and shit going on here. Good God. Well, we're giving them some action. I got to at least say that.
We're giving them some action.
We were. And let's go to a break.
What'd you think of that gimmick chair?
I think it sucked.
You didn't like the wooden chairs?
No, because it was like a siren. It's going to break.
But we just covered it last week when they swung on and it didn't break.
Mm-hmm. We did? I don't remember that.
Yeah, you blocked out all the painful memories.
Okay, well, I guess we're starting our second hour now of WCW Monday Nitro, because we saw the Heenan sign and we had the pyro. And do you know how many we actually sold for this show?
No.
Jesus Christ.
Numbers about paper and things like that usually wouldn't make the Observer. He would just go into great details for the big shows, the pay-per-views. I mean, he might mention, what the attendance was, but he didn't usually post, gates and things like that for TV unless it was something special.
Good God. Masahiro Chono coming out, and then they got this guy with him. What the fuck?
And by the way, Masahiro Chono has a fucking sword. You know what? And I think Buff may have seen that, because, and you may not even remember this, but no, I'm sure you don't, but I'm going to take a stab at it anyway. Did you ever hear that there was a group in the WWF called Kai and Tai?
No.
Well, there was a group called Kai and Tai, and they took issue with their manager's wife sleeping with the porn star Val Venus. Did you know they had a porn star character on the other show?
Yes, I do know that Val Venus was a porn star character on the other show. Okay. So this is sounding good.
What they did is, to get revenge on Val Venus for having sex with their manager's wife, is they choppy his PP.
Really?
Yes.
They chopped his PP?
That was the phrase, choppy your PP.
Okay.
And now when I see Masahiro Chono carrying a sword, and I've seen Buff Bagwell naked, I feel like maybe he too slept with that man's wife, because someone clearly choppy'd his PP. Because
and that's well documented. Yeah.
What he showed off on Showtime was just the remnants.
Oh, he's choppy PP'd.
He has a fucking sword in the ring right now. And the stupid ass Mongo's like, I got this briefcase. You come at me with that sword, I'm going to swing his briefcase.
Well, the Halliburton's pretty tough briefcase. He could probably block
up. He's got a sword.
Did you ever have a Halliburton?
Yes, I have one right now. But he has a sword.
But that Halliburton could probably block it.
Listen,
you think the sword could chop a Halliburton in half?
It's one old cliche, but I'm going to say it right here. Don't bring a Halliburton to a sword fight.
Don't bring Buff Bagwell to a main event match either. Good God. Oh, Deborah at ringside. Bless her heart.
Are you okay? I was wondering how long it was going to take for you to.
Yeah, I was
Soak
watching
it
her
in.
as you were talking about choppy pee-pee.
What's up with that?
I don't know. You're the one that brought up choppy pee-pee.
I feel like
What is
you're-
up with that? Val Venus got his pee-pee chopped? Really? That's well known?
No, it wasn't like, I mean, they didn't shoot chop it, Tony. It's a gimmick, you know? Wrestling's not real. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, okay. So that was a gimmick. It wasn't real.
Well,
Okay.
it wasn't a shoot chop. They didn't.
Wasn't a shoot chop.
Hey, all these babies that your family is cranking out, y'all choppy and PP, or what are y'all doing on that?
I don't know.
You don't ask?
All my kids are grown now. They got their own families. I don't ask. I don't know. I don't know.
I was told that there's a lot of Q-tip maintenance involved if you don't.
Q-tip maintenance. If you still got a turkey gobbler, you got to use Q-tips, right?
Well, you got to clean that rascal.
Okay.
Is that not what you heard? You just roll stinky.
We are talking about circumcised penises now. Where is this show gone?
Wait, is this real right now? That's what you have an issue with after all the shit you've said on this show?
Well, I've tried to clean it up. I tried to slow it down a little bit. And now all of a sudden, every time I try to slow it down, you want to talk about choppy pee-pee, and you also want to talk about Q-tip to the uncircumcised turkey gobbler.
I never said any of those phrases. I said Q-tip maintenance, and then you got all explicit and weird. That wasn't me.
I'm weird. Let's get back to wrestling,
Okay,
everybody.
thank you. Jesus.
Yeah, okay.
I've been dying to talk about it.
Yeah, man. Masahiro Chono was a hell of a performer, wasn't he? He really was. I mean, he was very good. I think he was very, very misused by us.
I hate that I'm saying this into a microphone right now, but remind me to tell you something about Masahiro Chono off air.
Okay.
When we hang up, when we click stop,
All right.
you and I need to have a quick combo.
Okay. Well, I don't Flair. Wow. And everything that Benoit did was just so snug and stiff and, as they say, strong style.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. Speaking of strong style, man, I've started watching more of Japanese wrestling as of late.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've slowly. Oh fuck.
How you like it?
Yeah, I love it. But I would throw it out. I would throw it out too if fucking this motherfucker came in. Throw the match out. Virgil's in. Vincent's in. Somebody's in. Mike Jones is in. And they throw it out. The Horsemen are your winner. See? That Halliburton case protected him. He didn't use that, did he? He didn't use that sword.
Tony, we haven't talked about it, but I feel like we should address it. How was your Father's Day?
It was quiet.
All right, man. That was
I'm on the road. I get texts from my kids. It's not like I had a cookout at the house or anything like that.
Next year, can I make plans to spend it with you so you don't have to be alone?
Yes.
I'll bring my dad and we'll go to lunch and I'll call you guys my two dads.
Okay.
All right. What do you think Kevin Sullivan's thinking about here as he's hitting Chris Benoit in the head with a fucking 2x4?
I don't want to go there.
We finally found a place Tony didn't want to go.
Well, this was a,
Hard times.
yeah, man. Speaking of uncircumcised turkey gobblers.
Yeah. I mean, I was told that he used to put candles in there for birthdays.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Little birthday party
This
action.
is one of those things that we kind of made, we took reality and made into an angle.
Do you think Kevin Sullivan, I'm not saying this to be funny, but do you think he was just like, is it like a coping thing for him?
Well, it could have been. It could have been a coping thing for him, but it's also the fact that Kevin would do anything for business. He really would. To the point that he would blur the line between reality and wrestling. That's just the way he was. To me, Conrad, I know you've met Kevin too. To me, Kevin's going to go down as one of the greats and I'm talking about one of the great minds in wrestling, that he did a lot for the business. That he's really, his tenure in the business is really low key, but he's still doing things with Universal Wrestling or whatever they got going on. He still gets involved, and he would do something like this. But to say it was a coping, it could have been with him. Who knows? Wow. And now we go to Mortis and Wrath. I guess this is Mortis and Wrath, right?
Well, why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. You never know.
I think they're about to squash High Voltage.
High voltage rockin'. You an AC/DC fan?
Mm-hmm. Did you know that they stole that High Voltage gimmick from Matt Hardy?
They stole it from Matt Hardy?
Matt Hardy was trying to get hired by WCW, and he would send in tapes, highlight clips of his moves and matches and promos, and he would refer to himself as High Voltage. And supposedly, Canyon has confirmed to Matt Hardy back in the day that when that tape came in, they were watching it in the power plant, and somebody said, "Oh, that's a fucking great name." Ta-da. High Voltage debuted on TV.
Well, who's had the last laugh, right?
Well, I mean, clearly it's Chaos or Rage.
No. Chaos and Rage. They were good kids, man.
I think one of these guys is a football coach over in your area.
That I'm not sure about. And it's probably the kid right there.
Isn't it a shame that Canyon's gone? Can you imagine what role he would play in wrestling right now as creative as he was? I mean, he'd have to be working, NXT or AEW or somewhere as a coach or agent or something, right?
Sure he would.
Oh, look who it is. Ernest Miller going to sneak in on the far side. Glacier down below.
Wow.
Blood runs cold, baby.
Yeah, here he comes.
Even though I want to make fun of it, look at the crowd. They're all standing.
Whoa. Fuck.
Man.
That's good shit right there, wasn't it?
Dude,
look at that finish.
How athletic was Cat to jump up there and do it? Holy shit, High Voltage got a win on TV. Not Saturday night either.
No, it was Ernest Miller jumping up on top. That fucking kick man, Ernest and Glacier.
By the way, Vandenberg has said that he had a lot of fun on the road with Mortis. This is probably a lot of guys' time of their lives, huh?
Yeah.
Making a bunch of money on the road. You're big TV stars. Most places you go, somebody recognizes you because wrestling's so damn hot.
Right.
Probably pretty fun.
Yeah. We were talking about what Chris Canyon could bring to the business. Now you're right, man. He was creative. He had a great mind for the business. And he loved the business too. Really, really loved it. And it's a shame.
It is a shame.
There's been a lot of sad stories in wrestling.
None sadder than yours, really. When you're working for the biggest company in the world, making the most money you've ever made, working for Vince McMahon, and your wife says, "I miss it, Nana." And then you find yourself trying to give believable play-by-play on a RoboCop angle.
Oh, now I'm fucking depressed. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
None sadder than yours.
That's what friends are for.
All those Von Erich kids dead. Not as sad as your story.
What can I say?
Oh God. Wow. I'm going to cry now. Yeah. Who's in this limousine? Whose limousine is it? Will we tear it up and have to buy this limousine before the night is over? We'll find out on Nitro. As you can see the cameraman walking up. Oh, there was always, who's in the limousine? Who's in the limousine? I didn't give a fuck who was in the limousine. Look at Heenan. And
my God, look at Gene Okerlund. That's the best.
Brother.
These pay-per-view promos were done so far in advance, usually had no fucking real way of,
Right.
Why couldn't you just reshoot it to get the shit right?
Exactly. Why couldn't you? Why couldn't you reshoot it? Why couldn't you? And I always asked that question, and I never got an answer. Why couldn't you reshoot it just for our show? To put it in our show to make it seem like something.
I think I have the answer.
Okay.
Hey.
Nobody cared.
1-800-COLLECT on the road. I am Lee Marshall, and I found a weasel up my butt. That's right. It's not Bobby the Brain Heenan. I'm here in Memphis, Tennessee, where there's a weasel up my butt, and I'm not talking about Tony the Tiger, who is great. I just want to let you know there's a weasel up my butt, and there's one up your butt too as well, Schiavone, and his name is Bobby the Brain Heenan. Did I say?
Heasman. Bobby the Brain Heasman. Bobby the Brain Heasman.
Did I say there's a weasel up my butt?
Yes. That's what you said.
I like these 1-800-COLLECT. Oh, what about me? Hey, I got in touch with him recently.
Really?
Yeah, we texted back and forth because he's the one that got me into enjoying Swamp Thing, the comic book, and Swamp Thing just debuted recently on DC Universe, and we text back and forth about watching Swamp Thing. So it was good to reconnect with him. One of my favorite guys. He really is. Odele! That's enough.
That's enough.
Conan, buddy. Conan and your favor going to go up here. Jeff Jarrett.
By the way, I think Conan's one of the funniest, most charismatic, low-key dudes in wrestling.
Yeah, he was back then.
That's enough.
I love that. That's enough.
Why is that so funny?
I don't know. Here we go. Just reeking heat.
That's enough.
What did Karen ever see in this guy? The fuck?
Why are you hating on him for real? Like, I bust his balls.
I don't hate on anybody for real. I just try to be.
I don't know. It sounded like you did. You're talking about his wife.
Okay.
Jesus. Make fun of his penis like me or something.
Yeah. Okay. Look at. You think he needed Blue Chew for his penis?
Oh, what are you doing?
What you say?
You're gonna have to stop this.
Okay.
People are gonna stop listening.
That's for no, they're not.
We're gonna.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
All 10 of our listeners are gonna riot.
It's going to be a Blue Chew walkout. Oh. Conan and Jeff Jarrett, U.S. title on the line. Ring the bell. Here we go. Do you think by now that, Flair is now, he's wrestled. Do you think he's having sex with those two young, lovely ladies?
You think?
I don't know. Do you think Beth watched?
No.
I was just questions that I've always wondered. Over the top.
No, let me assure you that she did not watch.
Okay, well, okay.
That's weird. All those times you cheated on Lois, do you think Lois was there?
Wow.
What?
Wow, that's coming in hot.
Wait a minute. Now that's literally what you just said about my father-in-law. I just repeated it back and changed the name from Beth to Lois.
Okay. That's really coming in hot. Meanwhile, back at the match.
Wait, hang on. We're not going to talk about all the times that you got hand jobs on the road.
No, because that's not true. It's not true. Look at this. Trying to single leg pick up here, and he tried an enziguri, and he missed. He missed an enziguri. Full arm drag and twist. Full arm drag and twist, and a snapmare takeover over the top. He's going to kick him. Conan could do some shit, man, couldn't he?
Yep. He was a good wrestler.
Yes, he was.
He did lots of good wrestling things.
Yes, he did lots of good wrestling things. He did. And Jeff Jarrett did too.
Jeff Jarrett's gimmick here, the look, while I'll admit is different. And that's what he was going for, was he wanted something different. Eric Bischoff fucking hates it.
Really?
Every time we go back and we review a show and he's wearing Jeff Jarrett's dress like this, which was his entire WCW run, Bischoff just goes on and on and on about how bad it is. And I feel like it's like the 1997 version of a Brutus the Barber beefcake outfit. You can't tell me the Booty Man wouldn't have wore that, because he would.
Okay. You know what? I get all that, but Eric was the boss. Why didn't he stop him from wearing it? Why didn't he say, Jeff, I don't want that anymore?
Did you see what he let you wear on TV? And you're the face of the show.
If I'm the face of the show, then that's the reason why we went to shit.
Yeah.
Because I was not the face of the show.
You couldn't even fucking button your collar.
Why do you bring it back on me every time? Why didn't your buddy Eric Bischoff, if he hated this look so much, why didn't he get rid of Jeff Jarrett's look? Why didn't he get rid of Jeff Jarrett's look?
I love that move from Conan where he's like, nope. Okay. If I got to break the hole 'cause he's touching the rope, I'll just grab the thing touching the rope. He ain't touching it no more. I ain't breaking this hold.
Wow. You got to admit though, I mean, look who we've had wrestle on the show.
Oh, all stars. I mean,
all stars. Absolutely. Top to bottom.
It's no wonder that you guys were beating the WWF. I mean, you had a superior talent, you know, it's just, I mean, that's reality.
Right.
And I think the criticism at the time would be that WCW's main event was weak, you know, because Meltzer hated Hogan.
Right.
But that the undercard was super strong, and the opposite was true for the WWF. So the undercard was kind of weak, but the tippy top, the Shawn and Brett stuff, that work was great. And here comes Flair. And famously, that's a robe that they would cut up later this year at the War Games in 1997, when they would have Mr. Perfect refuse my spot and join the NWO. They cut the sleeves off of that one. That was a good robe too. With the big, not actual feathers, but the design looked like feathers and the way the sleeves were done. I mean, Olivia worked her ass off on that one. That's a good robe.
That is a good robe.
I think the Big Show still has one of those sleeves in his private collection. I wonder where the sleeveless robe wound up.
So Conan has to submit because Flair helps Jarrett out.
Yeah, because they were trying to low key make Jarrett a horseman here.
Right.
But Jarrett's of course going to have issues with Mongo because of Deborah. Deborah was causing a lot of problems back then.
I could see where she would.
Like he's asking him, come on, let's fucking go. And he's like, I got to eat my bill. Now, Jarrett probably disagrees and says he's not doing a Flair imitation. Jarrett is, being from Memphis, I would venture to say, was doing a Jackie Fargo strut.
Right. But the fact is that
the audience related it to Flair.
Because the audience on a nationwide level did not know Jackie Fargo. Here, I want to ask you something. Come over here, Jeff Jarrett. I need to ask you a question. Is it true? Now, I just want to know, is it true that you're trying to copy this guy, the Nature Boy Ric Flair? Well, Gene Okerlund, let me tell you that that was the Jackie Fargo strut, and I'm from Tennessee. Where we come, we never heard of the Nature Boy Ric Flair. I know he's from North Carolina. The fact is that I is doing the Jackie Fargo strut. Now, Eric Bischoff may not like what I'm wearing, but I want to let Eric Bischoff know something. I'm going to be in the business a whole lot longer than he is. You see, I'm going to be an agent one day for Vince McMahon. When Vince McMahon tells me to take a shit, I'll say, yes, sir, I'll take a shit. And the fact is that I'm going to become an agent, and Eric Bischoff is going to ride off in the sunset somewhere in Canada, dropping in all these small towns, working for Conrad Thompson. And me, I'm going to be a miserable fuck as the producer or an agent behind the scenes for the WWE. Well, I got to say, the fact is, Rick, where were you at StarCast? Well, Mean Gene, I was sick, and I just like to say that I love everybody. I love Shawn Michaels. I love Conrad Thompson. And I just want to say that I bounced back. And if they have another StarCast, I'll no-show that too. The fact is that I'm the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Woo! Wendy runs my business. And woo! I don't look anything like this hillbilly over to my right from Tennessee. And woo! I wish I had a chance to see the girl behind me naked. Wait a second. That's getting Jeff Jarrett pissed off. What do you mean you want to see that girl behind you naked? I thought you'd already seen her naked. I thought everybody in this room saw her naked thanks to Mongo. Well, let me say this, that is a myth. That is not true. She is a fine lady from Alabama. There are not many fine ladies from Alabama, as you know, but she is, Jeff Jarrett. And let me say, you just need to stay off that or you're out. Now, where were we? I was talking about this beautiful lady to my left, Deborah McMichael, who, by the way, graduated from the University of Alabama, graduated with a master's degree. That's right, I did. I graduated with a master's degree with the University of Alabama, and I don't need you some bitches anymore. That's right. I'm from Alabama. Now, would you put the camera back on me? You got a close-up of this son of a bitch, and you don't have the camera on me, and I'm better looking than him. Wait just a second, Jeff Jarrett. What are we talking about here? I thought we were talking about me being an agent for Vince McMahon, me kissing Vince McMahon's ass. And now you got to talk about the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and you got to talk about Mongo, and you got to talk about Deborah, and you got to talk about everybody but me. Don't you go running around behind me, son of a bitch. I know Chris Benoit's behind me. I get it. But here's the fact is, I'm still working in the business, and what the fuck are you doing? You're nothing. You're doing nothing. You're living in Gwinnett County. You're doing exactly what Fifi tells you to do, and you're doing nothing. You're showing up now to a few track meets at the University of Georgia, but you ain't fucking doing nothing. And by the way, I'm still the U.S. heavyweight champion, even though I am from Tennessee. Gene, let me say that he has kind of gone too far beyond the line. Chris, what do you got to say? Well, I have nothing to say because I can't do a good promo, as you know. But I can outwork these motherfuckers. If you want to have something strong style, I can fucking do it. I can work. These motherfuckers are old and decrepit. I don't even know what the fucking Mongo is doing here. But as Mongo said, Mongo only a pawn in Game of Life. That's it from the Four Horsemen. What a clusterfuck of a mess this was. And we'll be back with more Monday Nitro after this time out on TNT. Stay with us. Mean Gene Okerlund here. We'll be back.
You're on a roll today, buddy.
Whew. That was a long one, man. Did I see Danny Davis in the stands here?
Hey, have we talked about
right there? Is that Danny Davis?
No. My
There's
God.
the lawn dart thing we were talking about.
I can't believe you thought that was Danny Davis.
That looked like Danny Davis
That's
to me.
Chuck Zito from the Hells Angels.
Really? Well, Chuck looked like Danny Davis.
Hey, Chuck Zito's going to find you and kill you in your sleep.
Chuck, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
He's one of the. You heard the part about Hells Angels, right?
I've heard of them. Yes.
Okay. He beat the shit out of Rob Van Dam. Jean-Claude Van Damme in a
Did he really?
bathroom back in the day.
Wow. Then why didn't we bring him on set?
Because he's front row ringside to be a cool guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure Eric Bischoff was down there making sure he was manscaped and had front rows.
Hey, hell of a picture, man. Wow, nicely done.
Hey, have we talked about Charlotte? Not the wrestler, the town.
No.
You know that Greg Price isn't doing it, but there's another guy who's running the University Hilton in Charlotte in August and doing like a little fan fest style get together. He's calling it The Gathering, like the old Starcade.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, are you going?
Probably not.
Okay.
Ray wants to go to the ring though. Look at this, man.
Thought it'd be cool if you did.
Well, this is the first I heard about it.
Yeah.
Are you like saying that we're booked?
No.
Or you want to be booked, or we're invited, or what's going to happen? Autograph signing, doing a live show. You know, we gotta map this shit out, buddy. I mean, look,
that's what I'm doing with my mouth right now. Oh my God, that was a great move.
That was,
man. This is a good match, dude. They're getting started. They're getting started. They're doing some fun shit in this. You got to go out of your way to watch this. I forgot Kevin Nash and Rey Mysterio actually had an entertaining match.
Of course they did, because both guys.
Look at this. Holy shit. That's the story. Oh, wow.
I could have ripped his asshole too.
You know, what's great is the classic David and Goliath story in wrestling. Big guy, little guy. Like, I think sometimes guys sort of fantasy book stuff where they're like, oh man, but what if it was two giants? It's like, well, the match will suck. That's what if. Like, but you put a little guy in there with Kevin Nash and they can tell this more classic story where he gets to bully the smaller guy. And then then the smaller guy lands a big move and the crowd goes nuts. Look at that. Holy shit. Rey Mysterio, one of the all-time greats.
Without question.
You think he's probably the most important? I'm not saying this to be funny. Is he the most important cruiserweight of all time? I think he is.
How do you define important?
Well, I mean,
the most noted, the best performer of all the cruiserweights.
His style and the moves and his innovation and the way he captured the hearts and minds of fans. Look at that fucking power bomb and just easy pin. And that tells the story. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, but now you can build to a rematch.
Oh my God. He's going to power bomb him again. I'm taking no bullshit from referees either, buddy.
And here comes Conan, who's a member of the NWO, but he doesn't like him beating up on Ray, especially after the bell. He's going to pick him up a third time. Now Conan's like, he can't like this. Come on. Conan can't stand for this. Not 3 in a row. Oh my gosh.
This is a good story here.
It is a very good story.
Yeah.
Look at the crowd. The crowd's into it. They're standing. And that's what you should be judging this on is.
Right.
Especially when you got the sound off, it's hard to tell. Hey man, what are they buying? What are they not? Well, they're all standing. So that tells you what you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think he said? Odele Vato?
No.
Let me speak on this.
He said, like, it's we.
Now, you know what he said after 3 power bombs?
Yes.
That's enough.
So he drags his ass. What's he doing here?
He's going to put him in a finishing maneuver.
Holy shit. Very good.
He's NWO for life.
Yep.
See,
For life.
swerve.
Very good swerve.
Nash broke your back. I broke your leg. I think Mysterio is the most important cruiserweight of all time.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said. I think he set the standard for what we see now a lot. I think a lot of the high risk, innovative maneuvers that you see were done by Rey Mysterio.
Let's just call them maneuvers from now on.
Maneuvers. That's a high risk maneuver.
See, we're going to get that over. I like it.
A maneuver. Here comes
Somebody in a terrible polo.
It's Chuck, whatever his name was.
We got to get polos like that for our show.
Really?
Hey, we got to come off this. Me and you need to have a conversation. See that WCW Monday Nitro logo right there stuck on the truss?
Yeah, it's in my garage.
You motherfucker. You told me I could have it. And that was like 6 months ago and I don't have it. What's the deal, Pickle? That was legit February. It's almost July.
All right.
I mean, I know you're going to fuck me on the belt. You going to fuck me on that Nitro sign too?
No, I'm not.
Sounds like you are.
No. God, you're awfully mean today. What is it?
How am I mean? Oh,
Was it because David Flair and the family stayed with you for a week?
Jesus Christ. It was longer than that. Hey, did I tell you who's with me this week though?
Who?
The very lovable, the very cuddly Dave Silva.
Oh my gosh,
Really?
really?
One day for another. And look, here's your favorite. Here's Raven.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the sound up and let everybody hear the promo from Raven. Here's Mike tonight tries to get a word.
We can find out why you're here tonight. Are you a spectator at the event this evening? Did you buy a ticket? What about Diamond Dallas Page and a mystery partner? Can you shed any light on that? Are you involved with Diamond Dallas Page? We know you have a history with him. Raven, there have been rumors that you've been negotiating with World Championship Wrestling. Well, I guess he's not going to shed any light on any contract talks. Let's go to the ring and Dave Penzer for more Nitro.
Boy, today's sharp.
Mike asking the wrong questions there, Conrad.
I liked this, but I hated it because I was such an ECW fan and, he left ECW sort of in a rush they're on the heels of their first pay-per-view. He was in the main event. They're building towards the second one. And then in May, he finally has this showdown at the ECW arena with Tommy Dreamer, and that's it. He's gone. What do you make of the hairpiece that Kevin Nash is sporting here?
Well, I don't know what to make of it.
What about that bodysuit on Elizabeth, huh?
I know what to make of that, man.
If you make another fucking Blue Chew reference today.
I'm not going to make a Blue Chew reference, but I just know that Liz was.
Blue Chew's you're going to think there's rigor mortis in your dick, just like Macho Man. Oh, yeah, Blue Chew. Dig it. It ain't slim no more, is it, Jim? No, sir. I'm going to snap into it, though. Oh, yeah.
This, can I say this?
What, you're about the meat stick transition?
No, this is episode like 126.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've ever mentioned rigor mortis in your dick.
Well, we're talking about the deceased Macho Man.
See, if Tanay would have asked him about Captain America or Batman or comic book, probably Scotty would have.
I would have changed the channel and never turned it on again.
I can't believe you don't like that stuff.
I fucking hate it.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong. You almost said I'm wrong for what I like or don't like.
The following announcement has been paid for by the NWO.
By the way, bro, when I introduced, oh my God, look at this. It's pins.
I got pins.
When I introduced, Neil Pruitt to my parents, I have to explain to them who everybody is at Starkhouse. Right. So I'm explaining to my dad, I'm like, hey, Conan, he's like the biggest wrestler in the history of Mexico. He's like the Mexican Hulk Hogan. And Conan's like, yeah, except I'm not a racist. I'm like, okay, I got to try to do better on the next one. So then I introduced him to Neil Pruitt, and I'm like, Mom, remember the NWO? And she's like, yeah. I said, well, this guy was the voice of it. And then Neil immediately just launched into it. The following announcement has been paid for. And I was like, holy shit, he was ready for that. Boy, and she's ready for it. Lord, I think Kim Page is low key. Yeah. One of the best looking women in the history of wrestling.
Yes, absolutely.
Nobody ever talks about her in that way, but I mean, she's, as Bruce would say, top 5.
Yeah. Just so, God, she just was so perky.
You know what it proves? Diamond Dallas Page really can sell anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Before he sold everybody on yoga, he was selling Kimberly Page on Stick With Me. And he did it successfully.
Yes, he did. And it was always a head scratcher. Because she was, look at her. She didn't know how to look bad.
Check it out. Here we go. Main event action time. And what a main event it is. When you think about stars, and that's what we're talking about. This is the real difference between here and the other channel. You got the Giant, former world champion, Lex Luger, former world champion, Diamond Dallas Page, who's the new guy, who's super hot. And you're taking on the hottest act in wrestling, the NWO, with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, 2 of the original founding members, certainly the quote unquote cool ones. And one of the biggest stars of all time, the Macho Man Randy Savage. He certainly drew more money than Chris Jericho. Ask anyone except me or Tony.
I don't know how you can put a measuring stick on that, but you're right. You're right about the big time stars that they had here. Absolutely. Big time stars. And it was, man, we were so hot back then. Even though we had the paper, Las Vegas, it didn't matter. It looked good for TV. And it looked like we were sold out. The regular fan watching in Cheyenne, Wyoming didn't know that this house was papered, did they?
Yes.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
I'm being a smart ass. Why are you so sensitive today?
They did not. And so it looked good. And you think, man, they're in Las Vegas and they've got Ric Flair and they got the great Cruiserweights. And now they've got Diamond Dallas Page and they got the Macho Man. We've heard from Hulk Hogan. Man, they are the place to be. But what was also driving the train, I think, was the fact that we were in the midst of a Monday Night War here that we were winning. And I think people also tuned in to see what would happen next in the war. Not necessarily what would happen in the ring, but you can't miss it because you just don't know who's going to show up next. Didn't you think that was a big part of it?
Yeah, I do. The surprise, the swerve.
Right, the swerve. Hogan coming over, but Hall and Nash walking in, and then you can go on from there, but you just didn't know who would. It was not all NWO. I mean, Heenan ended up being with us, and Okerlund ended up being with us, and you just didn't know who would show up next. And
Right.
I thought that was a part of the interest of the Monday Night Wars. That will never be duplicated again, I don't think. Not in that way. I don't think there's any question.
Without question.
Okay, I don't think there's any question. Now I want you to comment on this as best you can.
Okay.
'Cause I know you're friends with Cody. Do you think there's a war going on now?
100.
What?
The kids say 100. It means 100%. I
Yeah,
agree.
right.
Positive affirmation. Yes.
There is a war going on now, and it's
100.
100. It is not developed fully because AEW doesn't have weekly television as of yet.
No, it's developed fully.
Okay, it hasn't. Okay, you really think it's developed fully?
Yep.
Okay.
When you're signing guys to long contracts and for more money than they've ever made before in their life, and they're not even on TV, and you're signing them because you don't want them going to the competition. When you start spending money, here's to me when I think the war's on. And you're going to say this is simplistic, but I think this is it. When you're spending money not to make your program better, but to make sure that they can't improve their program, the war's on.
Right.
And if you're just investing all of your time, effort, and energy in making your show better, then, the argument can be made, there's no war. But when you're spending time, effort, energy, and money to hurt their show or to keep someone from doing well on their show, you're now not focusing on your shit. You're focusing on their shit, and the war's on.
And you are fighting the war, in my opinion, the wrong way.
Yeah. I mean, listen, there's a hip hop phrase called pocket watching. And, the concept is when you start worrying about what everybody else is doing, you're stopping worrying about what you're doing, and you're not going to be successful.
Right. So a lot of pocket watching going on, man.
God damn, look how young and hip you are. I mean, you got all that hair off your dick, and now you're just like cool guy Jones over here.
I am cool. You know what? And I wasn't cool until I met you.
Do you think you're more aerodynamic since you got all your dick hair off? Like when you go running naked, do you feel like you're making better times?
I don't go running naked.
What?
All right. I don't go running naked.
How have you lost all this weight?
I don't do it naked.
Oh, well, Flair was telling me that he thought it made you more aerodynamic.
What the fuck does he know about me and about what pubic hairs I have?
Well, you know all about his. You talk about him every week here on the show.
Head double. Look at the big headbutt from the Giant, man. He's going to choke slam them both.
Next time we're talking about Flair's penis or Flair, can you not say, look at the head? I mean, don't start a sentence that way. I'm scarred a little bit just from your stories.
Uh-oh.
Here he comes. The main event.
The
Hulkster.
And I would imagine we're going to have Sting make an appearance here as well, aren't we? Wouldn't we?
But we're getting a Pier 6 brawl to end Nitro, which is sort of commonplace. And of course, he's got the big gold belt in tow, calling around Lex Luger. Of course, we know they're on a collision course for August. They don't know that yet, but we do.
No.
Oh,
that
my
deep.
God. I love Hulk, but Hulk did not want to hurt anybody, boy.
No, he didn't.
He just fucking touched him with it.
Mm-hmm.
You see Scott all like, fuck that. Here's how you hit somebody with it. Wham! Wham! Shit, Terry. Lay it in. Wham! Dude, he fucking nailed him.
Yeah, he did.
That's great. There's Scott Norton. When are we going back to Japan? I'm over there. When are we going? Think we should sell some shit over there. Chono's got a few ideas.
Oh, God. This is NWO at its best, man.
Can you believe all the angles and storylines and history that are in that particular belt.
Mm.
You think about that. I mean, at this point, that thing's been used in nearly every week for 11 years. Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. Now it's spray painted with the NWO. What a legacy that belt has.
Had been in the WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had been on WWF TV.
It had been to Korea, son.
Right.
And,
North Korea.
And title changes in Japan and Muhammad Ali and Shaquille O'Neal and Macho Man just laying in these elbows. And by the way, the reason the ribs are, boy, that's not him.
No, it's not him.
The reason the ribs are taped up is legit. Macho Man broke one of, there he is. Macho Man broke one of his ribs with one of those elbows off the top, for real. And he just keeps laying them in here. This is the third one, fourth one.
Third. Wow.
It almost feels like, you know, when you're a kid and everybody takes turns like doing tricks off the diving board. Down comes Sting.
Fans were so pissed off. You see, one of the fans threw a beer or something in there.
He's got the harness underneath his jacket to conceal it. There he comes. You can tell that's him just by the way he's moving.
Right.
It's funny, you know, you could just so easily identify guys with their mannerisms or movements. You didn't even have to really make them out or see them. And look who it is. Kurt jumping ship here, showing up. Of course, he left the company a long time before this. Oh, and now here comes Raven. Boy, you guys knew how to end the show.
Yeah.
Raven jumping the guardrail after not giving any comments. They want to know what's Kurt doing here. And everybody wants to know, wait a minute, what about Raven? And we're done.
Pretty good end to a show, I would say.
The idea is to leave them wanting more, right?
Right.
And the idea is to say, hey, how'd that happen? Or what's going to happen next? When you can give a cliffhanger, you got them. Great job.
So a good show. 2 thumbs up on this end.
Tremendous. I really dug it, and I hope you did too. And I'm looking forward to next week. Tony, you want to tell them what we got coming their way?
Well, we're going to do another Nitro next week, aren't we?
That's exactly right. And I'm pretty excited because I really enjoy watching some of the good stuff. I mean, we make fun of all the bad stuff, and we've had a lot of fun with that, and I really enjoy that. But going back and watching some of the good stuff that I really liked from 97, well, I'm in. But next week, that's not what we're doing. It's June 28th, 1999. And I hate to be that guy, but Nitro 99 sucked a dick.
Yeah. Only thing you got to say is 99, Conrad, and we get it.
Yeah.
You know, I think fans get it.
Let's just give you a quick rundown.
Okay.
Because there's some good stuff on here. Perry Saturn and Chris Benoit are going to take on Fit Finlay and Dave Taylor. Eddie Guerrero is going to take on Lenny Lane. Bam Bam Bigelow is taking on Hack, aka Sandman. The West Texas Rednecks are going to take on Brian Adams, Vincent, Horace Hogan, and Stevie Ray.
Oh.
Ernest Miller is going to take on Disco Inferno. Diamond Dallas Page and Canyon are going to team up to defend their tag championships against Dean Malenko and, of all people, Buff Bagwell. Sid Vicious is going to wrestle Scott Putski.
Jesus.
And your main event with Arn Anderson as the special guest referee is your world champion, Kevin Nash, taking on the one and only David Flair.
Well,
and
we can compare and contrast right now.
This is in Chicago.
Yeah. And this is at the United Center.
Yep.
And I believe this was one of the times I remember vividly, a conversation that Tanae and I had backstage at this show. So I'll talk about that next week.
Well, I can't wait. But when I look at my clock right now, it feels like it's about that time.
Yes, it is about that time. And we have here in the Blue Chew Championship of the World, the Nature Boy Ric Flair going up against Well, it's Double J Jeff Jarrett, and the winner is going to get Karen Jarrett. And wait a minute, Tony Schiavone's doing a run-in. He's got a pack of Blue Chew. He's stuffing it in his mouth, and oh my God, take a look at what's going on. It's Tony Schiavone's got a heart on where a cat can't scratch it, and we're desperately out of time. We'll see you next week. You're listening to What Happened When. We're on the MLW Radio Network. And as always, we are on Mondays, first of all, for our friends on
Patron. Hey, y'all. Show's over. The fuck are you still doing here?
Yeah,
Jesus. Maybe you wanted a little more. What happened when? Well, what are you waiting for? Go get a little more. We'll play a game that Tony likes to play called Just the Tip. And we're going to do it live on stage this Saturday, the 22nd in St. Louis at Off Broadway. Tickets are on sale now for like 30 something bucks. And you get to hear all kinds of stories you could never hear on the show, if you can believe that, at TonyandConradLive.com. And then the very next day, you and I are going to do a little fisting, right there at Jimmy's Famous Seafood on the 23rd.
Just the tip? Fisting?
Well, like double fisting beverages. And
oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, that's right. On the Sunday, the 23rd, we're going to be at Jimmy's Famous Seafood in Baltimore. Tickets available there at whathappenedwhenlive.com. It's a matinee show. So we're going to have a big weekend for our fans in St. Louis and our fans in Baltimore that weekend. Wherever if you're closest to one of the two, come on. I know we got a lot of the low-key big hogs coming out to see us as well, but we want everybody to come out and see us. Haven't been to Baltimore in a long, long time, Conrad. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've been to Baltimore since our last WCW show. How about that?
And back in the day, of course, you guys used to go to another seafood joint, and now everybody in wrestling goes to Jimmy's Famous Seafood. Are we going to try to relive any of those old memories here? Are you going to like tie balloons to your gimmick or put birthday candles in your turkey gobbler?
What stories have you heard about me anyway in Baltimore?
Well, find out this Sunday. WhatHappenedWhenLive.com is where you can get your tickets. And the rumor is that you're actually going to fillet Cassio Kid live on stage.
Yes, I am, as a matter of fact, and he needs it as well. And I'm going to stick mashed taters in it.
I don't even know what we're doing right now, but come feed it a peanut this weekend, folks, in St. Louis. TonyandConradLive.com, or the next day, Jimmy's Famous Seafood, the 23rd. What are you waiting on? WhatHappenedWhenLive.com. See you there.
Hi, this is Big Fat Fred. Big Fat Fred. Promotional considerations paid for by the following. Boxofgimmicks.com with new items each week. The official store What Happened When. Something to wrestle with in 83 weeks. Log on to boxofgimmicks.com. Get your gimmicks for the wrestling fan in your life. Or get something for yourself. I say it's Big Fat Fred. Well, it is. And by patreon.com. I'll say it right, Patreon. Patreon.com/WHW Monday. Want to be a low-key big hog? I got one of them. Or a glass-bottom boat rider? You can join Conrad and Tony Schiavone. They got bonus podcasts, behind-the-scenes videos, live weekly chats, new content each week. And by Lois Rouge.com. Get all your t-shirts, What Happened When, from Lois. And by What Happened When, live in St. Louis. It's coming up this Saturday, June 22nd at Off Broadway. Tickets available at this location. TonyandConradLive.com. And What Happened When live in Baltimore this Sunday, June 23rd, noon. Jimmy's Famous Seafood is the place. Get your tickets at WhatHappenedWhenLive.com. Or Big Fat Fred. That's my name. Don't wear it out. Huh.